Morning guys, it's another week at school. You might notice we're in a different classroom this week, so this is actually my pod's classroom this week. Mrs Davies is just down the hall, so you might see that one next week. So let's have a look at what we're learning this week. The same as last week, there's no new white rows. So what we've done, we've put some more time activities in there for you, a bit more on months, a bit more on years, a bit more on days. And then what we've also done is put a statistics folder into the drive as well. So you'll see on there things about graphs and pictograms, and it's all about interpreting data. If I move down, we go on to this week's English. Now, you might be thinking, hang on a minute, it was Mrs Davies' turn to introduce the video this week, but we've swapped over because the activity I thought would be one that Mrs Davies would like to introduce to you. It's all about a letter written to your favourite author. So if we just have a quick look here, you've got to imagine that your school is having a book week, okay? And you get to invite any author you want into the school. So you have to have a think about who writes your favourite books. And what you've got to do is write a letter to them to try and persuade them to come to school. Okay, so I've here had a go at a bit of a Dr. Seuss one. So I'm going to start reading this one, and then my friend Mrs Davies is going to come in and help write the next part of the letter. So let's have a look. Dear Dr. Seuss, I attend Harrison Primary School and we are having a book week. I am writing this letter to invite you to come along. I have read and enjoyed your book since I was 5. I absolutely love the way you make up funny language and how all of your books rhyme. Trying to pronounce some of the words is really tricky, and my mum laughs at me when I'm trying to say them. My favourite book of yours is Green Eggs and Ham. I know you know I like that one. I love reading it as fast as I can, and sometimes I make up my own words too. I'm not sure if I would like to try them, even on a train or in the rain. So this is where Mrs Davies is going to pop in and have a go at writing the next part of our letter.
Hi guys, it's really lovely to see you. As we said, maybe you'll get to see my pod's classroom next week. Now, we had so much fun with Dr. Seuss when we had World Book Day. It's where we had to start. So Miss Northcott has already read and told you why she likes Dr. Seuss. But we now need to convince him that he needs to come and visit us. Well, I know for a fact Harrison Primary School is one of the best for reading. So I think that's why he needs to come. And because it's a persuasive letter, I need to make sure I've got that persuasive language in. So it's something I would like. I think you should come and visit us because our school is excellent at reading for pleasure. I like that.
What sounds good so far, Mrs
Okay.
Davies.
Oh, these boards are much higher than I'm used to, Miss Northcott. I think you should.
Oh, can you add definitely in there? I think you should
Oh,
definitely.
here we go. Definitely. D-E-F. That's right. Is that right, Miss Northcott? Brilliant. Oh, we're going up the board a little bit. Never mind. I think you should definitely come and, whoops, you've got the timetable, and visit our school. Oh, I'm gonna up level because
Would you not just put a full stop there and finish your sentence, Mrs Davies? Is that very persuasive?
It's not at the moment.
Okay, so
and I'm going to up level my because to as, which means I need a comma as well.
Good thinking.
So comma, as we are amazing. And I'm going to write amazing in capital letters to really push across that point. Amazing at reading for pleasure.
Now, can we think of something else of why we want him to come to our school? Could we tell him about our World Book Days and how we all dress up and how we wrote a whole story as a school?
Oh, I like that. So we have maybe, that's another one, maybe you could come as we wrote amazing stories. As oh no, I've used amazing.
Yeah, good thinking.
Fantastic.
Yeah, fantastic, brilliant.
I like that one. I'll go with fantastic. I like that. So maybe you could come as we wrote a fantastic whole school story for World Book Day.
Mrs Davies, I like the way you're rehearsing your sentence there before you're writing so that you don't make any mistakes. That's a good idea to do that.
And if I've said it out loud, hopefully it will stay in my brain. So maybe you could come, or we had this, could come as we wrote and I said fantastic, didn't I? That's the word I wanted.
Fantastic.
A fantastic whole school story. Or I'm going to tweak it just a little bit as part of our World Book Day, and because that's the name of the day, it has to have capital letters. World
Mrs Davies, I'm going to come into your rescue
Day.
because I can see your pen's running out.
It is. Thank you very much. Pop that there. Oh,
see if that was any better.
Oh, that's much better.
Well done.
World Book Day. So I was getting worried I was going to run out.
It was going to run out.
Okay, now as all good authors do, you should check what you've written before
Okay,
you move on.
definitely.
So,
Read it out loud, Mrs Davies.
I think you should definitely come and visit our school, as we are amazing at reading for pleasure. Maybe you could come, as we wrote a fantastic whole school story as part of our World Book Day celebrations.
Should we try and end the letter now with kind of that one final persuasive push to get him here?
So I believe, that would be good.
I
believe you would thoroughly enjoy coming to meet us.
Good idea, Mrs Davies.
Right, I'm going to kneel down just a little bit as I'm going to block the view. I believe, oh, this pen is much better. I believe you, what did I say? I believe you would.
Did you say would? I believe you would thoroughly
That
enjoy.
was that word. This is why it's good to say it out loud, because then your friend can help you. Thoroughly enjoy. And I used visit up there. I'm going to have spending your time with us. So I'm not repeating myself. Spending your time with us. And because he's not someone we know, it is a more formal letter, isn't it?
Definitely.
So I can't just write love, because that'd be informal. Yours sincerely.
You don't just want to write from Mrs Davies or
No.
from Miss Northcott, do you?
So, yours sincerely.
Should we put it from the Year 3 team then, considering we've collaborated on our letter today?
Absolutely. The Year 3 team.
Thank you, Mrs Davies. So you can see there, we've just written short little, we haven't got to be really long, but short little paragraphs in our letter. If you want to, perhaps you could add in a picture to send to Dr. Zeus. Maybe you could send a picture of what you dressed up as for World Book Day. Looking forward to getting those, okay? So keep sending that work through. As we carry on going down our list today, where there'll be a new handwriting sheet in the folder, it's good to see you practicing that handwriting, more spelling. Keep up with those spellings. I know you've had them over quite a few weeks now, but the more you practice them, they'll get stuck in that memory. We've got our last week of Flat Stanley this week as well, so we've got week 5 of Flat Stanley, and then next week you will see Spud Murphy in the folder.
Oh, I'm excited, Miss Northcott.
Let's go well. We had our topics last week, so we had our French, and then we had our shadow work, and hopefully you've seen Miss Harvey on YouTube doing that one. So this week, because loads of people have been writing to us and emailing us saying they've been really enjoying the French, and that seems to be a really popular one, so we've carried on the French this week. And this week's all about a monster. Mrs Davies has drawn, it's excellent, you'll love it. In the folder you will see a picture of a monster. He's got hairy legs, but he looks brilliant. And what Mrs Davies has done, she has labelled the monster, but not in English. It's in French, but it's using the body parts and the colours that you've already been doing over the last few weeks. But you don't need me to explain it, because what you'll find on YouTube as well is Mrs Davies explaining it for you. All the French you'll need there, and everything's in the folder for you. Our next one is DT. If we were at school, do you remember painting our Monet pictures that we did? They were beautiful with our watercolours. So what we would have been doing is making a frame for those pictures. Now, I know you haven't got your pictures at home, but you could get any photograph you've got at home, or you could paint your own new Monet picture, or any picture you want to. But we would like you to make a frame. Now, there's a few things we want for this frame. One, you've got to measure your picture so that your frame fits it perfectly. You can see some examples here. Now, this one you can see absolutely perfect. I don't think they've done some very good measuring here. And this one looks a bit silly, doesn't it? So I've kind of tried to put the different examples to show you. We need you to measure your picture first to make sure you're making the frame the right size. Now you could use card at home. Some of you might have some different materials you could use. But the other thing we want is for your frame to be able to stand up. So not just a flat piece of paper lent up against a wall. You have to try and make some kind of stand for it. And again, then you can decorate it however you want. Someone's used buttons here, they've used things from the garden, Lego. If you want to, you could just colour it, you can draw on it, you can stick sequins, anything you've got in your craft rooms at home. I know lots of you have been using all of those things.
As long as it's not too heavy.
Oh, what would happen if it was too heavy, Mrs
Oh
Davies?
no, it might fall over.
Okay, so yeah, Lego's good. If you try to build it up too much, like Mrs Davies said, it's just going to collapse. So think carefully about your design. Please send them through to us because we are absolutely loving those pictures and we want to be able to put them on our celebration assembly. Right, see you soon again, guys. Bye.